Showaddywaddy and their version of Curtis Lee's Under the Moon of Love. Great stuff. 8 minutes after 3, BBC Radio Berkshire and coming to Camberley on the 26th of April. A nostalgic, retro-rocking, audience-wowing show, they say. Rod Deas from the band is on. Rod, how you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, you still got the long drapes there to make you hot. You lose weight on those on stage, don't you?
Well, it helps.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. I remember doing one of the cruises with you, and Dave Bartram, who was still singing then, said, God, I wish I hadn't thought of this drape idea. Hot on stage.
You know. You do sweat a bit, you do, but it's good.
Oh, absolutely good for you. But, I mean, so many hits. Just thinking there, you know, you got... We're going to play a little bit of Soap in a minute, the Jarmels, your Three Steps to Heaven, Eddie Cochran. Somebody somewhere was picking absolutely the right songs for you.
Yes, you're right. I think probably more fortunate. It was just songs that we loved, songs that we grew up with, you know, when we were kind of young, aspiring musicians. Yeah, we were very lucky with the choice.
Because, I mean, some people pick songs, I like that it doesn't work, and one works and others a small hit, but these were, you know, biff, bang, pow, they're all big walloping hits, and it was sort of whatever you did, it was right every time.
It certainly seemed to be. I mean, that was at the expense of the self-penned stuff as well. And we used to submit a selection of recordings to the label to choose the next single from, and there was always a selection of self-penned ones, but they always went for the covers, which is probably good.
It's always a difficult one, isn't it, to know whether... I mean, everyone wants to write their own songs. Since the Beatles, before that, you know, people were relying on Tim Panally songwriters and what have you. And suddenly we thought, well, we can write our own. But they weren't always that good. And the more prudent people like Cliff said, you know, I can write, they're okay, but I'm better at picking really good songs by other people, and I'll sing them and have, you know, build up the name, have the hits and you know, do it that way, really, because sometimes when people say we want to write them and they're not that good, their careers tail off.
Yeah, that's true. They've got to be good. You're probably right. It probably extended our career. I mean, the first 4 or 5 singles were self-penned. Hey Rock and Roll was self-penned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it probably was time for a change. You're right.
Yeah, Hey Rock and Roll, great track. Yeah, great track. I mean, 15, you wouldn't have thought, I mean, in the Op Knox days and what have you, 15 big-selling albums, Christmas #1, 50 Top of the Pops performances, almost as many as Pants People and Legs & Co.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've done a few, haven't you?
Yeah,
but you don't count, but when somebody says 50,
I know.
It seems a lot.
I know. Somebody said recently to me, they said, which group has been on most times? And I said, well, it's got to be Status Quo. And they said, no, Pants People. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I think it'd be interesting to have a top 10, wouldn't it, of the number of times people were on. I'm sure some geek somewhere will do it, you know, a top 10 of the most, you know, people that appeared on there most. And I guess you would almost certainly be in the top 10.
Well, that would be nice, but it took more than a day, though, if you remember, because in those days we had to re-record the actual tracks.
So they say, Rod.
So they say.
So they say. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I know what used to happen. I mean, for people, because it's not on now, for people's info, the Musicians Union used to insist for a long period that you go and re-record, basically in 3 hours, Rod, a song that probably took you 2 or 3 days or a week to do.
Exactly. It was infuriating. But we did have to be there.
You had to be there, and then the Musicians Union man turned up to make sure all was legit and above board.
Don't give the secrets away.
But you know, who knows which tape actually went out in the end? But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, of course not. But I thought it was uncanny how, like the original that took 5 days, that every band and every single artist got in 3 hours. It was extraordinary.
It was ludicrous. I mean, we know what it was there for. It was to protect any musicians that were on the tracks, but they were protected anyway. But
well, they got paid anyway, didn't they?
Absolutely, that's right.
You know,
yeah.
Everyone got paid, which is great. But they did have certain rules on Top of the Pops. I remember, really, the sound in there was very low. You wanted, I mean, especially bands like you, the big beefy sound, you wanted it to be loud, and it never was. It was always pretty quiet.
It was, I know. It wasn't what you imagined before you got there. But it was great. They were a great experience. Every day was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was great fun. I mean, Top of the Pops, you knew then. I mean, it was, you know, you were 14, 15, 16, 17 million people watching it. If only a tiny amount bought a Showaddywaddy single, you were going to fly into the chart.
the thing is, it was so important in those days. You almost guaranteed to have a hit record.
Oh, yeah.
If you'd been on Top of the Pops. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and other things, I mean, when you started, I mean, things like Supersonic were around and things like that as well.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Mike Mansfield.
Yeah.
Who always insisted on being in it himself. 3, 2, 1, go, love. I love it.
Great,
I love it. But those things are very important. I mean, if you've got Top of the Pops, something like Supersonic, maybe the Saturday Scene or a bit later Swap Shop, I mean, you've got a monster hit.
Absolutely, yeah. And, of course, the record label pushers were very important, weren't they?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the industry really worked then to make sure that everything worked and, you got the hit record. I mean, it was an industry.
Absolutely. I mean, it's different now with downloads and the internet. That seems to be the way that new bands and artists expose themselves.
Yeah, absolutely right. But then again, as I always say, it's a 1,000,000-mile wide highway. You still got to get people there. Yeah, I mean, when 17 million people sat down to watch, Top of the Pops, and you came on, you knew they were probably going to go to the shops the following day or next 2 days and buy your record. I mean, now, if you can put something up online, but people don't know who you are, you still got to market it somehow,
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we actually had, in fact, it was a song that Dave wrote, and we had to turn the Top of the Pops down because we were out of the country, and it didn't do that single much good at all.
Yeah, it was very, very important. Important.
Timing was important, yeah.
But you made such a big name in the period you were having hits. I mean, that has sustained you now for gigs for, years to come, really.
Oh, it's great. Absolutely wonderful. And I still enjoy it as much as ever.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? I mean, somebody said to me yesterday about working, and I said, work? I said, I see it all as a holiday.
Absolutely.
I see all the stuff I do. I see it as just great fun.
Yeah, that's great. And people need to say that as well, because it is good fun.
Yeah. Oh, it is very, very lucky. Yeah.
We have long days and a few nights with not much sleep, but that's all part of the fun.
But as soon as you get on stage, however tired you are, you're awake.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. We'll chat some more in a moment with Rod Deas from Showaddywaddy coming to Camberley in, 26th of April, about 4 weeks' time. 60 minutes after 3, here they are again.
Drive a big fast car. You don't look like a movie star. On your money we won't get far. But baby, yeah, you got what it takes.
Showaddywaddy, and you've got what it takes, chatting with Rod Deas from the band. They're down here 26th of April, Camberley Theatre on a Saturday night, 7:30. You probably don't run out of hits, actually, do you? Or do you ever turn around and go, hang on, we haven't got anything left? I doubt it.
No, we're quite fortunate. It's not being able to do everything that's more of a problem, really, because, we like to kind of make the show into a show, and there's other songs in there apart from just hits. But yeah, no, it's great. It was great hearing that.
Which song do you like, personally, that they always leave out, and you sit there going, God, we should play that? There must be one.
Probably is. I think that's probably my favourite, and we do that every night.
You got what it takes? Yeah.
I can't think. I have to think. Hey, Mr. Christmas is always good.
Well, you can't do it all year round, though,
exactly.
Can you? Yeah,
we do it at Christmas, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Hey, Mr. Christmas. Great song. I love it. Because my chum, Mr. Christmas, Andy Park, the man who celebrates Christmas every day and has his house decorated all year round, feels that's his own personal song.
Oh, really?
Because he does interviews as Mr. Christmas. He goes abroad. He celebrates 365 days a year.
That's
He's
great.
got the tree up in the house, or the works. I mean, it'd be a great one for you guys. His house is decorated, his dog's decorated, his turkey every day, mince pies. I mean, literally the whole time.
That's brilliant. Well, he is
Extraordinary.
probably Mr. Christmas.
He is. He's been going out since the 90s as Mr. Christmas. And, for Christmas, where they want to interview somebody, then, obviously, they're not going to get Jesus and they're not going to get Santa Claus. So it's Mr. Christmas. Very clever invention.
Brilliant.
So next time you're down his way, Hey, Mr. Christmas, good stuff. So, Camberley, what can we look forward to? We can look forward, obviously, to the hits, a bit of banter on stage as well. I guess it's a bit like tennis players. As they get older, they can still play really well, but the audience also want a bit of banter and a bit of humour, as opposed to just the sex appeal.
Well, we hope we can play a bit, but yeah, I mean, we like the audience to join in, which they do. It's better if they stand up. Let themselves go. They can expect a fun night, colour, hopefully great music.
Yeah, it's as I say, it's important though, isn't it, when you're on stage? As you get, I mean, Jerry and the Pacemakers, that he does it, he spends a lot of time joking with the audience, having a bit of a laugh. I mean, I think when you're all young and the girls are screaming, you can stand there and pose a bit and enjoy it. But I think as people get a little bit longer in the tooth, they want a bit of fun as well.
Yes, but we can still move a little bit.
What are you saying? You're still sexy, Rod? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No.
Well, I mean, it does keep you fit being out on the road. That's one thing, doesn't it?
I think we are pretty fit. Yeah, I mean, Romeo works always. It's hard work for drummers, as you know.
Yeah.
Bashing those things for, an hour and 20 minutes or whatever. But, yeah, he's quite fit.
I was talking earlier because we're going to be chatting about Diamond Lights. You know, one of the hits in the 80s for Hoddle and Waddle. They're redoing it for the World Cup this year, and we're in the video this week. And I was just talking about, on the football angle, that, of course, an urban myth sprang up in Showaddywaddy about Romeo Challenger. Didn't he? Didn't people say he was Dion Durbin's son or something?
Dion Durbin's, which nobody knows where that comes from. You still hear it now.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
How an urban myth just rolls around and around, and
really strange. Yeah.
He probably hears it all the time. Yeah.
But he was friends with Dion Dublin's father, Romeo was. But that's as far as it went.
That's probably where it came from. Do you guys ever get out and do any sport or anything like that? Do you have a little sort of, five-a-side team or anything? We used to.
Trevor and I used to play in celebrity football, but not now.
Well, listen, I'm worried about it because they're doing this thing on Friday for Sport Relief and the World Cup, and they're remaking it, and they're coming down here. A.D. Williams, my sport guy here, who's a former Welsh international, and myself are getting our boots on and getting out. We've got a football pitch here, and the BBC, and we're going to get out there, and we're going to be firing a few balls on Friday.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought tennis was your game.
It is, but I had to go to the shop, Rod, the other day and buy a pair of football boots for the first time since I was at school. And I bought a pair of boots, got home with a pair of socks, and what do you have to do as a boy? You have to try them on. So I tried them on and walked around in them for a while.
As you do.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got wooden floors. It sounded like the school pavilion.
Oh, so they need relaying it.
Oh, boy, oh boy.
And mind you, studs aren't like they used to be.
No, they're not. You said the old sort of ones that you banged in with a hammer. They are a little bit different now. And some have got the bars on, the ridges, rather than actual studs now. Yeah, got ridges on now. I know. Moving on so quickly. I'm talking knowledgeably about something I know little about. But I asked for the studded ones because I'm an old-fashioned boy. So very, very good. Anyway, Rob, we're looking forward to you coming to Camberley.
Yeah, we are.
Saturday, 26th of April. It should be a good one.
Hopefully, yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, is this part of a UK tour?
It is. It's actually, last year we did the 40th anniversary of the first hit of the band.
Wow.
And this year, you could probably work out for yourself, is the 41st.
Right, yeah, you can work that out on stage very slowly for the audience. Yeah.
We do, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we look forward to it. Have a terrific tour. Any new material? You're going to be putting anything out this year?
I don't think there's any recordings in the pipeline. No.
Okay, you know when you've made it big when you don't have to bother. I love it.
Yeah,
you got enough hits to be going on.
We've got a live album that we sell.
All right. Okay.
On the road at gigs, and also we're still selling the Sun album, which Dave was on.
Yeah. The live albums are always good. Live gig albums are always good because it means you get the dosh for once, and the record company don't take a big cut of it. We like that.
It was always something we wanted to do.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. A lot of bands are on the road now because a lot of bands, especially the 60s bands, they didn't do a very good deal because they were just too keen on, wow, this is great, we've got our break. Did a pretty bad deal with the record companies at the time.
Yeah.
And it's a way of saying, oh, hang on, at least we can sell our own albums here without the record companies giving us, a threepenny bit at the end of each one.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're right there, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Rod, love to the band. Have a good tour and look forward to 26th of April.
Good talking to you, and come and see us.
Brilliant. Cheers, Rod.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Rod Deas from Showaddywaddy.